Hi everyone, it's Mrs. Wine. Welcome back to art class. Today we are going to continue working on creating our Britto inspired letters. This week you will need scissors, a pencil, glue stick. You will also need the letters for your word that you cut out last week. You will need black paper, and you will need some other different colors. When I look at Britto's work, I notice that his letters are many different colors. A lot of times those colors contrast. They are very, very different. I also notice that he often divides his letters into different sections with a big black line. So this week, we're not going to be working on the patterns yet. We're going to be working on dividing those letters and creating some contrasting colors. So, my word is unity. U-N-I-T-Y. So, I'm going to start with my letter U. And I know that I need to divide this letter into some different sections. So, I can take my black paper and I can start off just by trimming that black paper into some thin lines. So I just cut off a strip of the black paper. Then I can decide where I want to divide this letter. I could divide it perfectly in half, but I think it's a little more interesting if I divide it so that it's not quite in half. So what I like to do is I like to put a little bit of glue stick on the back of the black paper. Now you might not want to do this right on your desk. You might want to put it on your folder so you don't get glue all over the place. But I'm going to put a little bit of glue onto that paper, and then I'm going to glue that paper onto my letter. Then where this hangs off the edge, all I have to do is flip the letter over to the back and I can trim that off. Now I'll save this. Maybe I can use that on a different letter. But all I have to do is trim it right off, and now my letter is divided. But now the problem is Britto's letters are two colors, and my letter is just one color. So I want to find a contrasting color. I know blue and orange are a big contrast. And I'm going to take my blue letter, and because I know I want this section to be orange, what I'm going to do is I'm going to start at the edge of the black line. I'm going to trace around the edge of that letter. And I'm going to stop right at the edge of the black line. So the trick to getting it correct is I start at the black line, I go around the edge, and then I stop at the black line. Then all I have to do is connect these two lines. So I could use a ruler, or I could just use the straight edge of my paper because I know that my black line is straight. And I connect those edges. Then I'm going to cut this out. So if I cut neatly and carefully right along this edge, all the way around, and then before I glue, I like to hold it up and make sure that it's going to fit. I'm going to save this paper. Maybe that's got some colors I could use later. And then I want to make sure that this fits on my U. And it does. So now I'm just going to flip this paper over. I'm going to put the glue on the back. And then I'm going to take this paper and glue it on to my U. So now instead of my U being just one color, it's two contrasting colors divided by this black line. Let's do one more letter together. So my word is unity. U-N-I-T-Y. N is my next letter. So what is my first step? I'm going to start with that black line. And since I already have a little bit left over, I could even take this, put some glue on it, and I can decide, maybe I'll make my N into 3 pieces even. So you could divide it into 2 or 3 sections. Maybe I'll come right here, maybe like this little part. Oh, I know, it'll fit right here. Sometimes it's like a puzzle game. So I'm going to glue that on. Then I'm going to take it, flip it over, trim the extra off. This piece is too little to use, so it goes in my garbage pile. But I could divide this letter N again. Now I need another black line, so I'm going to cut another strip of black. And I'm going to decide where I want this line. If I divided it down here, oh, maybe I could divide it like this. So I'll have 1, 2, 3 sections. So if I'm going to do that, I want a little bit of glue on the back of the line. Then I'm going to decide where I want it. Right there. And I'm going to take my scissors and I'm going to trim off the extra. Save a piece that's big. I might be able to use it later. And the little piece goes into the garbage pile. So now I have 1, 2, 3 sections for my N. Now I don't want to cover up all of the yellow, but I could cover up a few different places of the yellow. Do you think it would be a good idea to use the orange again? Orange contrast, but then I have orange a little bit too close together. So I'm going to pick 2 completely different colors. I've already got some extra over here that I'm looking through. Purple might be nice, but I don't want to have 2 purples. Maybe I'll choose a light purple and maybe I'll choose a red. So the first thing I want to do is I'm going to do the purple piece. I'm going to line up my paper. I'm going to start from the black line. I'm going to trace around the edge of the N. I start and stop at the black line. Then I'm going to connect that line. And then I have to cut it out and make sure it fits. So I'm going to trim it off. Save the big piece. I might want it later. I'm going to cut right on that line. The small piece is garbage. It goes in my garbage pile. And I'm going to see if this fits. That looks like a good fit. So then I'm going to take it, flip it over, and put the glue on. Take it, flip it back over, and glue it down. So now I have a purple section, a yellow section, and I said I was going to use the red next. So I notice with my red, because this is the long part of the letter, that I don't need to trace the outside edge. I could just line this up, and I'm going to trace straight down until I get to the edge of the black line, and then, whoops, I'm going to trace the bottom part here right up to the edge of the black line. And I know again I want to connect those two lines. Again, using a ruler or just the edge of that paper. If I made a little mistake, I can erase. And then I'm going to cut this piece out and see if it fits. So I trim right along my line. And I'll see if it fits. Looks pretty good. It's just a little short up here, but I can fix that and trim that off. So now I'm going to take my glue stick, put the glue on the back of this shape, flip it over, and glue it down. If a few of my little yellow edges still show, I can always take those and just trim those off to make it nice and neat, as close to perfect as I can get. And that's it. I just want to keep going. This goes in the garbage pile. So now I have two of my letters done, U, N, and I'm ready to move on to my I. Remember, you want to divide each letter into 2 sections, no more than 3 sections. And you just keep working until all of your letters are done. I hope you have a wonderful week. I can't wait to see all the different ways that you divide your letters and the contrasting colors that you use. Save your letters. Save the big scraps because we'll be able to use them next week. And until next time, keep on creating.